this is where the fun begins.
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? But you never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say. I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hawg Pen with your hosts, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
Let me talk to you.
What's up, everybody? It is another week, and it means it's another episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Hello, everybody. I'm Razorback Zach from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen, joined by my co-host, cohort, brother, best friend, and professionally proven the glue that holds the whole damn thing together, who's kicking the crap out of his camera right now.
I'm too jacked up, man. I'm all hyped up.
We got to find out why you're jacked up, MC. That's probably why I'm wearing a basketball jersey instead of my regular threads tonight. But hope everybody had a good week. Welcome to the Meeks Design Company Studios and Inside the Hawg Pen presented by Rock City Wraps. Oh, all right, everybody take a deep breath. Mm-hmm. We all know what happened earlier this week. We're not going to cross that line, but we all know what happened. Take a breath. Life goes on because guess what? Basketball season has officially arrived.
It has.
In the natural state.
Wait, I thought that was what you were talking about happened earlier this week, that college basketball came back.
Well, I mean, take it for what you want. Take it for what you want. It could be basketball. It could be the other thing.
Yeah. You know? I mean, this is a great time of year, man, because you have basketball and football overlapping. You have some of these early season matchups for hoops that are kind of made for TV. And, man, as the season gets started here, it's just, it's so great. I love it. I love it.
Well, we're going to get a full report later on in the show about the opening act of the official start of the Calipari era. We're going to be joined by Savage, hopefully. And I'm going to let you two spar it out because she was there last night.
Yeah, we want that first-person review from Savage.
We are also going to do our SEC pick'ems this week because Arkansas is off for football. And I swear to God, I'm going to pick right. I've got to go perfect because I got to catch you. But we're going to have those matchups. We're going to talk a little SEC tournament for soccer. And then, of course, we'll round out the night with Hawg Tuah. One announcement before we jump all off into this, if I can get my words right. Yes, Jesse, I know it's recorded.
Sausage.
Yeah, there it is. Gotcha. I knew it would. What's up, Beard? How are you, buddy?
Watching a little SEC soccer tournament over here behind the scenes.
You're watching TV and we're supposed to be working? I see how. What am I paying you for?
We're not supposed to.
You're not paying me.
Oops.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Right. All right, so here we go. Rankings for week 11 of the SEC Pick'em between myself, MC, and the Beard. MC has the commanding lead of 58-20. Jesse has now taken over second place with 56-22, and I am in dead last, 55-23. Now,
How did last week go individually?
Let me see. Let me check my notes here. Because I was not on the show. By the way, you guys did handle it really great. Thank you for letting me get some rest. But I do believe I don't have my right notes. Hang on. So, MC... Oh, that's why you wanted me to do it. Son of a... MC won the week because he went perfect on his picks.
Louder!
My dude, Jesse.
Y'all can't see this on camera right now, but I'm giving you a finger.
Oh, man. Is it this one?
It ain't that one. It ain't that one. I can promise you that. It is not that one. Because he's... And then Jesse and I both tied at 6-1, and the games that we got were the exact opposite. So he got which one did you got? Was it Mississippi State you got?
No, Jesse? I got South Carolina. You got Arkansas.
Yeah. Those were the two games we swapped.
Jesse and I were kind of strutting around a little bit after the South Carolina A&M game because we both were kind of talking about something just didn't feel right with that one, and I think one of us, if not both of us, even predicted that Raheem Sanders would have to turn back the clock and look like Rocket again.
He will never be Rocket to me, and
that's pretty much what he did.
Watch him come out this week and be flat. Did I say that out loud?
That would be on point.
Right. All right, so here we go. Your first matchup, Florida at number 5, Texas. Texas is a 22.5-point favorite. And like I say, week in and week out, I'm not picking Texas for nothing. So give me the chomp Gators, who, by the way, sealed the fate of their head coach, and he will return next season as head coach. Billy Napier, they said that he will be kept as head coach of the Florida Gators.
And I won't get off on a tangent on this, but I do like that move by Florida because I think Florida has shown enough improvement to where they can see things are pointed in the right direction now. Napier, kind of happy for. I kind of like Billy Napier, man. He's a former Sun Belt guy, so I've seen him around a little bit. He had a lot of success when he was in the Sun Belt at, I believe Lafayette was where he had made his name, and I'm glad to see him succeeding down there.
If you guys want in on the action, leave us a question or comment in the Camp Productions live fan feedback. Jesse, I know MC's not going to pick Texas. I know he's going to pick Florida.
Yeah, I'm not going perfect this week because I'm not taking Texas.
You're of the middle of the pack. So are you going to take the Longhorns or are you going to take the Gators?
I got to catch MC. I'm taking the Horns.
I'm not going to sacrifice it on this game.
Selling your soul to win, huh?
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, we got our first top 25 matchup in the SEC for the week. Number 3, Georgia travels to Oxford to take on number 16, Ole Miss. Georgia only a 2.5-point favorite.
That's a big game, man. That is I
don't know who I'm picking on this one.
I talked to my buddy that's the Ole Miss fan. Son, they are jacked up down in Oxford over this game.
Well, they did just lay 63 points on us.
By the way, I think they just threw. I think Jackson Dart just threw another touchdown. Lord have mercy.
Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins.
Watkins is still running.
Instead of Daddy Warbucks, it's Daddy Watkins.
Yeah.
I mean, dude just completely owned us. So, I want to go last on this one.
Why?
He can do that because he's in the lead.
Fine, we'll put Beard first because I still don't.
Hey, I'm all for it. Georgia struggled against good and bad competition. I believe Trey Harris is supposed to be back this week. Mm-hmm. Still leads the SEC after not playing for 3 weeks. Also, Jordan Watkins getting 254 yards receiving against us and didn't even crack the top 10 in receiving in the SEC.
That is insane.
Give me the Rebels.
Oh, upset special. All right.
I got to catch MC. I'm going. I'm going to go Georgia.
You hunkering down, you hairy dog. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You go do the Pat McAfee, the whole, what's that coming down the track?
No, I'm just.
I will. I'm about to put both of you in shock here because to reveal my pick, this is what I'm going to do. And if my buddy from Ole Miss is watching, I'm never going to live this down. All right. Hotty toddy gashamati, who the hell are we? Flim flam bim bam, Ole Miss by damn. I'm calling the upset. I'm calling the upset, man. I think Georgia's about to walk into a buzzsaw.
I'm just gonna say this one time. And we might have to hit the censor button, but this is the one slip up I'm gonna do. Don't you ever do that shit again.
That was a one-time only deal, man.
I got it out of my system.
That is a one-time. That is a one-time only deal.
We'll get popped for. Okay, that was a one time for you. That was a one time for me.
Yeah.
That was necessary. Don't you ever do that again.
I think I woke the comments up.
Fire him. All right,
D-Mad, MC just paid a bet right before our
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And of course, Savage is like, fire him.
Oh man,
Savage ain't pulling no punch. She says, fire him.
Yeah. She went straight to it, man.
South Carolina travels to Nashville as a 4.5 point favorite to take on Vanderbilt. I gotta go South Carolina on this. I really want to go anchor down, but I don't know. South Carolina.
I'm all in with anchor down, baby. I'm all in.
Down.
Go Diego, go, baby.
Yeah, give me Vandy.
Oh, now you're changing it.
Yeah. No, I never did. No, I never said I'm taking this one. Thank you very much. I never said which team I
We'll
was
run the
picking.
tape back. You said South Carolina.
I did not.
You better run it back now while you can, because I may destroy this tape after this show.
Or heavily edit it.
Destroy all evidence.
Yeah, help me out. Tell Zach that he picked South Carolina until we picked.
Yeah,
them.
until we went anchor down. He
Fine, I'll put it back.
All right.
South Carolina's too inconsistent.
They are. This would be on point for South Carolina after pulling that upset against A&M to go in here and lay an absolute egg against Vanderbilt.
And get demolished.
Yes, get beat down.
Hey, that'll just prove that Vanderbilt's for real. And this is not all,
I think they are, man. I think they're legit.
They've got a better record than us. I still cannot believe it. Mississippi State travels to number 7 Knoxville to take on Tennessee, a 24.5 point favorite. Only time I'm ever going to say this, but Rocky Top.
Yeah, I ain't singing Rocky Top. I do have a limit. I do have a limit of how far I will go. But I think Tennessee wins.
Rocky Top all day.
Yeah.
See, I did pick Tennessee there. Check it. Anyway, another top 25 matchup, and this one's a big one. Number 11, Alabama travels to Baton Rouge as a 2.5 point favorite to take on number 15, LSU, with an appearance of a live mascot. It's not Mike the Tiger, but a tiger will be in the stadium for that game. I'm going to go last on this one because I'm in last place.
Okay. Go ahead, Jesse.
And I'm the boss.
Go Tigers. I can't pick Bama the way they're playing.
Yeah, they're pretty inconsistent as well. Man, this one is so tough. This is always a really good game. There's been very few blowouts in this of recent memory that I can think of. It's hard to go against LSU at night in Death Valley, man. I think I'm going to have to take the Tigers.
Bama is just like Texas. Go Tigers, but I'm going to say G-O, not G-E-A-U-X.
G-E-A-U-X, yeah.
Whatever. Oklahoma travels to Columbia, Missouri as a 3-point favorite to take on number 24 Missouri Tigers. Give me Missouri.
I can't do it. Boomer Sooner. I can't.
Boomer Sooner. Coming in with the upset. Brady Cook is questionable.
Yep.
And when Brady Cook's not on the field, Arkansas State would beat Missouri.
Yeah.
Dude, do y'all realize our picks are going to be all over the place this week?
Yeah.
That's wild. All right, and your bonus game this week, because next week's bonus game is Army versus Notre Dame. Number 20, Colorado travels to Lubbock as a 4-point favorite to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
I'll go first on this one.
Give me
Prime. Give me Prime. They, I think he's got them turning a corner, man. I really do. I think they're going to go down and put on a show. I think at Lubbock.
As much criticism as I've given him this year, yeah, give me Prime.
Prime all day.
And his Louis Vuitton.
Right. So there you have it. There is the SEC Pick'em. That is all over the place. That is probably the most
range we've had on the pick'em so far.
It's Jesse's fault.
How's it my fault?
Oh.
I think I just threw everybody off with my little
You
song
broke me,
there.
dude. I'm not even gonna lie. That threw me for a loop. Jesse, are we up against a break, or do you want to move into SEC soccer?
We're at halftime, so let me go ahead and give you a soccer update. Kennedy Ball opens things up against Texas, becoming the 20th Razorback to score this season with her first goal of the season. And then Arkansas scored again. Unfortunately, it was in the wrong goal. So we are tied at halftime, 1-1.
Question: how the hell did you score the wrong goal? Haven't you been playing this game long enough?
It was a crossing pass. Defender went to deflect it, deflected it, caught the post, and rolled in.
So it's not quite like shooting in your own goal in basketball. Then you can do it accidentally in soccer.
It would be the equivalent of going for a block in basketball and it just rolling off your fingertips and somehow falling through the net.
We have seen, I have seen this before, where two teammates would be competing for the same rebound, and they would kind of slap each other's hands, and the ball would just kind of flick off of them into the goal. So, I mean, I guess it is possible there as well.
But we're at halftime in that match. Like I said, I've got it going on here on my second screen. So
I will say
the winner of this game will go to the finals of the tournament to play South Carolina, who upset Mississippi State.
Oh, that's a big upset.
That is a big upset. And I did not realize this, but Arkansas has yet to win the SEC tournament. They've been runner-up 9 times, but have not won the SEC tournament.
9 times.
9 times. Wow. That's crazy.
That's a lot, man.
We're going to step away because on the other side of the break, and I know we're going to go to break early, Jesse.
Oh, no, we're good. I was going to say, let's go ahead and roll this to break. Get Savage in the studio and let MC get his 5-point harness buckled up.
All right, we're going to go to break. On the other side of the break, school's in session with another season of MC School of Hog Hoops officially underway for the 2024-2025 season. This is Inside the Hawg Pen, coming right back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hog fanatics. We at Inside the Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share that SeatGeek is a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Yeah!
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Meeks Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Razorback Zach hanging out with you alongside my buddy, my cohort and who's finally strapped in his 5-point harness, MC from the NEA. All right, MC, before we bring Savage into this.
All right.
You can see I'm wearing my threads.
Yes.
And before anybody says a word, because I know what Savage is going to say, you're jumping on too late. No, I've been slowly getting on. But
Need you some of this right here, buddy.
I got you right here, baby. Right here. Right here.
There it is.
I gotta ask. Calipari's post-game press conference yesterday. What the hell?
That, I saw some comments about that on Twitter from guess who, Kentucky fans. Yeah, I got something for you, Kentucky fans. They're paying more attention to us than they do themselves now. But it's they were basically comparing it to press conferences of his in the past where he's been using basically the same sayings and stuff.
Right.
Look, if Kentucky fans were doing in person what they're doing on social media, you would have restraining orders involved. These are the most obsessed, jilted, ex-girlfriend, crazy hot matrix, danger zone area people I have ever seen in my life.
How far down the list were you going to go?
My God. And the ringleader of that whole thing is the I call him the fake Matt Jones, because we all know as Hog fans there's only one real Matt Jones. But the fake Matt Jones at Kentucky Sports Radio is like the cult leader. He's the Jim Jones of this, obsession they have. And it is just like, they all wanted him to leave. And then when he got up and left, now they're all like, well, you can't leave us. We're Kentucky, with their little pinky out and their gray poupon and their overrated bourbon. Okay, the bourbon's not overrated. I'll give them that one. But yeah, the obsession that these people have had. We had more people on Twitter from Kentucky last night talking about the game than we did Arkansas fans. Okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
You feel better, MC?
I feel better now. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on a victory tour this week, so I'm gonna throw one at Kentucky fans too. So,
but hey, funny you should mention Obsession by Kentucky. Only available at Walmart.
Yeah, Obsession is not just a perfume anymore.
Because we have Victory by ITHP, only available at Meeks Design Company.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. But no, it's different because it felt like he was all over the place, but it looked like he was also jacked as much as you were.
Well, and it looked like he was enjoying himself too. And the thing that I think and of course everybody knows my background, knows that I used to be in the media, and I've covered some press conferences and stuff. And sometimes after games, and the coaches just don't want to be there. You can tell. The guy we had here previously, you could tell as soon as he walked in if he wanted to be there or not. And, Cal was sitting around last night, and of course now we won, so it makes a little difference. But I looked at Twitter, looked at some of the comments from some of the media members. They talked about how he stayed until there were basically no more questions to ask. And I think that's going to be quite a difference from what we've gotten used to the last few years, because I think he's going, when we have a loss, and he has a post game after a loss, I think he's going to handle it with a lot more grace than what Musselman ever did. Because if y'all remember, and I mean, I'm not throwing a shot, but I'm throwing a shot. When we would lose a game, he would come in and acting like a 4-year-old that didn't get his favorite toy. I mean, he'd come in and sit there and pout and have his little temper tantrum, and then get up and walk out without answering but maybe one or two questions.
Hey, Jesse. I do believe MC is on one tonight, as they say.
Kool-Aid's going down good so far, man.
Is it dirty Kool-Aid? Is it spiked? What the hell?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's what I thought. I was afraid of that. No, and I'll give you credit because one of your guy, Trevin Brazil, looked a little bit re-energized last night. But one thing I saw last night that I didn't see last year or even in the last couple of years was hustle.
Yes.
Was hustle.
Yep, I agree.
It was a more exciting brand of basketball than I have seen in several years.
I look, a lot of it has to do with building team chemistry. Cal has talked about this. Other coaches have talked about you've got to have team chemistry. I heard Dusty Hannah say last night during the broadcast, which I thought for his first time being on color commentary, I thought he did
good. He did good.
Thought he did okay. He brought up the fact that chemistry is the most important talent you can have on a team. Because if you've got a divided locker room or you've got guys that are going against each other in some form or fashion, you can forget winning at a high level. And I agree with that 100%. I don't know that it's the most important thing, but it's definitely there in your top 2, top 3. I don't know. I'll get Savage's take on that too here in a minute. But
I was going to say, speaking of team chemistry, let's bring in our special correspondent and the other person on our staff who rivals me with, having no filter between her brain and her mouth, and whatever she thinks comes out. It's Savage. What's up, Savage? You were at the game last night, and I got to tell you,
my new shirt.
I like it. I'm going to tell you this too, boys and Sarah. That slobbering hog looked damn good at midcourt.
Is that not
This
awesome?
would be beautiful if I had a wall like.
It would be good too if we could see it.
You're kind of there. You disappeared. Okay, there you are.
What?
Somebody's playing around with the special effects.
It's because the background is like the same color as the towel.
Yeah.
The towel matches the court behind me, so you can't see it.
Wait, I can't take her serious because she keeps disappearing.
We needed this on the Halloween show last week.
No, but it's a slobbering hog. See?
Yeah. That's beautiful. That is just, I don't know. And this is me being the old timer, but I just love the slobbering hog at center court. It's just where things are supposed to be. The commemorative ticket. They had a lot of giveaways last night.
Then we got the poster.
Yep.
It's got the
Very
schedule
nice.
at the bottom. I can't show you or it'll disappear. Yeah, they had a lot of good giveaways, and then next week's another good one. So.
Well, then they also had those tumblers for sale as well.
Yeah, they were expensive and not very good though.
How much were they, and were they crappy?
$34.
Okay.
And they leak pretty bad.
Okay, I'm gonna save this for Hawg Tuah because I'm gonna open Hawg Tuah next segment because I got a couple things to say about some of the that I've seen.
You also can't bring it back into a game. You can't bring it back into a game. This was the only game you could have that.
Oh, just keep feeding me. Just keep feeding because y'all know where I'm headed.
Yeah,
I'm about to light this up. But if we don't, and Jesse, I'm gonna throw you a curveball here, buddy. If we don't have enough, if we don't have a lot of, I'm not saying enough, but if we don't have a lot of comments for Hawg Tuah, I'm gonna flip the script a little bit, bring you on, and we're gonna do a little roundtable discussion about something because I want to get y'all's thoughts.
But it was a great game last night.
Yep. Tell us about it, Sarah. Tell us what you saw in person, and then we'll compare it to what I saw on TV.
So personally, I'm in the student group chats and stuff, and I saw some complaints about the number of students. From my point of view, they were here and I'm there.
Yeah.
I was across the short distance of a court from them. So other side of the hoop from me. They weren't bad. Like they actually pretty much showed up for a Wednesday night. The rest of the arena, people really complained about attendance. Being in there, attendance didn't feel down. I mean, like you could see there was empty seats, but nothing abnormal from what I expected. A Wednesday night, no-name team in most people's eyes, coming off of a football weekend. There's a lot of things that came into play that I just didn't feel like made a difference. And a lot of people wanted to complain, but I thought it was a good atmosphere. We can talk about DJ Derek being back later, but yeah.
I have a theory that I'm going to save for Hawg Tuah about why the attendance looks so crappy on TV. I have a theory.
I mean, it didn't look
They
bad.
sounded amazing for the fans that were there. It sounded pretty good.
It also
I'm not
depends
taking
where
anything away from that.
They had Dusty Hannah's courtside, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that helps too. You're going to hear it better, whereas you don't have some guy who's sitting at home calling the game like some of the other times we've had.
Yeah.
True. You say, okay, I'm going to give Lipscomb credit because they've got a couple of fifth-year seniors on that team. Did they not, MC?
And they shot.
They shoot really well. They are Savage. You can back me up on this. They are an old team. They are very junior, senior heavy. A couple of those guys are like 5th-year seniors, and I'm telling you right now that you can mark the tape on this. Lipscomb will be in the dance. I really believe that the style they play.
They're disciplined. Their team chemistry, and this is prior to the game as well. Their team chemistry was high. Mm-hmm. They were vibing together, vibing to the music together. Where I didn't see that with ours, I'm not saying anything bad about ours, but the way our timing on the court worked out, I only saw a couple of our guys out there. Our guys were already getting ready versus their guys were still out there.
I was going to ask you about that. On the warm-ups, their attitudes, their body language, how did the team look versus last year as far as energy level? Were they for the first game of the season anyway?
So I was on the opposite end of the court I'm normally on. Normally I'm on the end where we warm up. I was on the end where the other team warmed up. So I truly and honestly can't tell you.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't want to speak wrongly on it. I do feel like I sat basically in the corner right behind our bench, and the bench just seemed more engaged. They were up. They were like, "Ooh," we're like jelly. Like they were actually doing some stuff. Whereas, I only saw that last year and the year before when Trevin Brazil dunks on someone's head, and that's about once a year.
Well, one thing I didn't see, speaking of TB, one thing I didn't see out of him was, the multicolored hair. I saw fight in him. Like he went down hard on one of the shots, and hard. Yeah. Got up, shook it off, limped a second, and then went right back to work. I like seeing that out of this team.
I think it helps when you have the rest of the team doing it as well. We didn't get that, which he didn't get to play last year to his ability. Being completely honest, he never did.
Yep.
So I'm not going to judge him off of last year or the year before, but overall effort, like from all the players, just looked better, and they were dying, like they were sucking wind.
But they were gassed.
Yeah, they were gassed,
severely
they were
gassed.
Sucking wind, and then when they got a break, they're like, "Coach, I need a break," and they'd sub out with a drink. They were ready to go again.
The only thing that worries me about that, though, Sarah, is when they get to the SEC tournament and they have the possibility of them having to play back to back games.
They'll be fine by then.
Yeah. I think this is part of this, and Sarah, I want your take on this, but I think part of the reason that you're seeing them so gassed so early is because there have been so many injuries, and they have not had the practice reps to get in that scrimmage where you're in a flow, just going back and forth, because that's where you build some of your stamina. You can run and you can lift weights and you can do all this, but until you get out there and you're actually running up and down the floor in a live scrimmage that is not being stopped every other possession, you're not going to be right. Yes, it is completely different.
Number 9, Jonas Adu.
Yep.
Everybody says it different. Every announcer, every person. But they said he was at 75%, and you could tell. You could tell real quick.
Yeah.
Let me get you guys' thoughts on this. Go ahead, MC. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, because I had notes here on Jonas Adu that I wanted to get out there. I think once he gets back to 100%, that dude is going to be a force down low, because he had a couple of possessions where he caught the ball on the block or just outside the lane and really just bullied his way into the basket and either scored or got fouled or both. And you're going to see a lot more of that out of him as he continues to get healthy. He may not be completely healthy until, mid-December. I don't know. I don't know the extent of the injury. I don't know what it is. They've been pretty tight-lipped about it, but I could see the flashes in him to know. And I remember what he did to Arkansas last year when he was at Tennessee. He's a bully around the basket. He's a tough board getter. He's a defensive presence. He may not get the blocked shot, but he is going to make guys think before they try to shoot when he's close in the vicinity because of his ability to go get it.
That is something I was pretty impressed with, which TB's really bad about it, but trying to only block the shot. like jumping and jumping and jumping.
Yeah.
I didn't see as much of that this year as I have in years past.
Yes.
They truly walled it up and stayed straight up. And it caused, there was one where the guy literally just threw the ball out of bounds, it looked like on a layup, wide open layup, basically. But it was because Billy walled it up and he just kind of threw it because he didn't know what to do with someone actually walling it up and not trying to go for the steal or the block.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys, I've got 2 questions here I want both your thoughts on. How's our rebounding game? Because I know in the years past we've had problems with offensive rebounds. Is that still a thing, or is Calipari fixing all of that to where now we're getting the offensive boards that we weren't getting a year ago?
Go ahead, Sarah.
That's an effort question.
Yes.
That's if they want it or not. Because I see it from these guys that they want to get to the basket, even if let's say like one Nelly, whatever his last name is,
Nelly Davis.
Davis. He was on the perimeter and a ball goes up. He's not just running back to get on defense like we saw a lot last year because he's pissed off he didn't take the shot. He was attacking the rim and getting those extra, even just a tip or something where we didn't see that last year. That's all about effort. It's not a coach thing. It's an effort thing.
So you're pretty much telling me and the fans what we want to hear, that there's no me ball anymore. It's a lot of we ball. And I saw that too with multiple players in double figures. To me, it looked like there was a lot more cohesiveness as far as the team goes, which leads me into my next question. Is Calipari going to use the non-conference like Muss did and play with the lineup, or does he have his 5, his starters and his backup?
He has his 5. He would 1,000% have it.
Well, the reason I say that is because with the with Nolan's teams, especially in the early 90s, you could take a 1 out, put a 2 in, and not lose that much of a step on the court. Right. Yeah. And that's kind of that we've kind of lost that since Nolan. And so I've been just kind of curious as far as does he have the set 5, or is he going to pick and choose and because don't lie, there's a lot of talent on this team.
Oh, we're loaded with talent.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think how to word this. You can have both. You can have a set starting 5 and you can still have somebody who can come in and you don't lose any momentum. And I think we have almost both. It's hard when you have DJ Wagner, Boogie, Nelly, Big Z as part of your starting 5. Like it's like, who else are you supposed to put in at that point? But
I want them to play Boogie Wonderland. Sorry, Sarah,
so I have a shirt designed and it says Boogie Wonderland, and I'm working on the trough to get it to play.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, so you're going to lead me into what I was wanting to talk about next. Boogie Flan, again, leading scorer last night, didn't have a great night shooting the ball. He scored 17 points, but it took him 18 shots to get it. And the poor fella out from 3, I think he finally hit one, but what was he, like 1 of 8, 1 of 9 from 3-point range?
Last time I looked, I want to say 1 of 8, but I haven't looked.
And Dusty Hanna's pointed this out on the broadcast. Dusty was amazed at the way these shots were hitting the rim and not going in because, and if anybody knows about 3-point shooting, it's going to be Dusty Hanna's. And Dusty was talking about it. He's like, man, he's right on point. He said these are just not falling.
I'm so sad that I hate that I was at the game and couldn't watch that. Like, I love Dusty. He's been around still, like Fayetteville, every so often comes into my job, and he definitely knows what he's talking about. And the shots definitely were right there. There was a few from, I can't remember who shot them. I remember there was 2 in particular that were.
Yeah, there were awful. A couple that were really bad, but Boogie specifically,
it was right there. And it's just, you have those nights. But the thing was, and that's what people were so freaking out at the beginning of the game when we weren't doing so well. We looked a little sluggish. It comes. And then people are like, we're not shooting well. It comes.
Yeah.
The fact that we shot, what was it, like 4 of 19 or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
And still had guys in 3 guys in double digits, I think, at least.
Yep.
That says something.
Boogie had 17, John L. Davis had 15, and Big Z had 12. So that's your 3 guys in double figures. DJ Wagner, I think, had 7 points on the night.
His probably fouls.
I didn't look at the rest of it. I was wanting to see the three guys in double figures, but I like the fact that we're not depending on one dude to carry us. The scoring is spread out a little bit between last night it was Boogie and it was John L. Davis and Big Z. In the Kansas game, it was Boogie, it was Wagner and Big Z. So I keep telling people are like, why is Billy Richmond playing? I'm telling you, give Billy Richmond some time. Him and Carter Knox both. At some point, they're gonna be the guys that have a 20-point game and kind of carry the team during that specific game.
I was going to say I will tolerate no Billy hate at all.
Billy is a dude, man. Billy comes from good genes. His dad played for Cal at Memphis, and he was a dude.
So DJ Wagner's his cousin.
Okay, I didn't know they were related.
Yes, so that's how I got my tickets.
That's wild.
Just putting that out there. Billy Richmond's mom comes into my job all the time, and so I've kind of gotten to know the family. His dad played for Cal. His uncle played for Cal. His cousins, DJ Wagner, like it all connects at the end of the day. But he comes from really good genes.
Yeah. Well, and really his dad, and since Billy's a hog, we're going to do this. I'm going to give his dad a free plug. His dad has a chain of wing places in Little Rock, or I'm sorry, not Little Rock, in Memphis.
Yeah, they're from Memphis.
And I cannot remember the name of it. I'm going to get the name of it because I got a Memphis fan here. I'm going to text and get the name of it. But it's apparently they've been voted like best chicken wings in Memphis for a couple years running. So
is it the fan that we both know?
No, this is a different one.
I think we need to reach out to that mutual friend of ours and have him do kind of like a True South segment in Memphis and try these wing spots. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys. I want to kind of shift it away from Lipscomb and look forward to Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
Baylor got beat by 40.
Yes,
the other night.
Don't read much into that though.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, look, see, this is why we're like this, man. Actually,
he owns the Wing Guru. That's
Wing Guru. That's it. Wing Guru. Yes.
All right. I will let one Brandon Bumgarner know.
Dude, well, I missed what you said there, Sarah.
I said Google's faster than asking people most of the time.
I mean, she's not wrong.
His name's because his son's Billy Richmond III, so I just looked up Billy Richmond II. What wing does he own?
Yeah, Wing Guru. That's it.
Hey, real quick, guys, I wanted to jump in. You know who Billy Richmond reminds me of?
Who?
With his hustle, Kiko Haidar.
Yes,
I could see that.
Yeah. He's not as short. He's got the height that Kiko didn't have.
He does have good. He does have better height, but as far as like a straight hustle, yeah, I could definitely see that. And Cal talked a little bit in the post game last night about Billy Richmond and talking about that we may see him playing some point guard because he said that they put him at point in practice the other day, and he said that between his IQ and his athleticism, he's like nobody could do anything with him at the point. So we may see that as early as this weekend against Baylor.
Well, I wanted to kind of shift it towards Baylor because I think there's one or two former Razorbacks on Baylor's team.
I looked at their roster beforehand. I didn't see any name I recognized.
Was it Baylor?
One. The big name that I recognized there, and you guys may not be as familiar with it as I am, but Norchad Ormir. Norchad Ormir was at Miami the last 2 seasons. Prior to that, he was at Arkansas State. He was the Sunbelt Conference Player of the Year. He left Arkansas State, went to Miami, did pretty good at Miami. Not sure why he left Miami and went to Baylor because Miami was close to home because he's from is it Cuba? He's from either Cuba or Puerto Rico or somewhere down in there. And this dude is a beast, okay? He's going to cause problems Saturday. He's about 6'9". He is a 5-tool player, man. He can do it all. He can step out and shoot the three. He can handle the ball. He rebounds well. He is a force down low. I mean, if he catches it from 15 feet in, you pretty much might as well ride it up as going on the board. He's a smart player. He had, I believe he had 15 points the other night in the blowout against Gonzaga. And this dude, I think if you can contain him, and then they've got a freshman by the name of Robert Wright III, who is almost as highly touted as Boogie is.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's
some
really
highlights
good.
of him the other day. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He's a bigger guard, but he's their prize recruit coming in from the freshman ranks, and he was right there with Boogie and Carter Knox and some of those other guys that we brought in that were the top freshmen. He's right there among them, and he showed it the other night. His first collegiate game, he comes out and has 12 points and I think 6 rebounds. So those two guys. Are the two main points that we're going to have to contain. And I think what we will see, I could be wrong on this, but my gut tells me because of the athleticism of Omier, I think you're going to see a Thiero get matched up with him.
Yeah.
I think a Thiero can match his athleticism. Now, here's one thing we got to watch with Thiero. He got in a little foul trouble last night.
Him and Wagner.
He and Wagner both got in a little foul trouble early on. I think that's why you saw Wagner only have about 7 points, and I think that's also why you didn't see Thiero have the kind of game he had down at TCU. Because Cal said it in postgame. He has a rule. He's like, you get 2 fouls in the first half, you're not playing again the first half for me. So
I like it.
Oh, I do too. I mean,
So I have some crazy history. I was trying to figure out who I'd met when I met Billy Richmond's mom. But crazy history is DJ Wagner's dad, DeJuan, played for Cal. Milt Wagner won a national championship at Louisville while he was playing with Kenny Payne.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, talk about coming from good genes.
Talk about what is it? The spider web of people.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Kind of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing.
Yeah.
So as we're looking at the Baylor game, this is probably gonna be, I wouldn't say the telltale all because we haven't even sniffed conference play yet.
Right.
But this will tell us a lot more about this team than Lipscomb, no?
Yes. I think with the way Cal has set up the non-conference schedule with playing Baylor, and by the way, this game is not at Baylor. It's at American Airlines Arena in Dallas. I thought it was on campus at Baylor. It is not. It is in Dallas. So that changes things a little bit because the crowd will be at least 50-50 by it being in Dallas. A lot of Hog fans in Dallas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. There's a ton of Hog fans there.
The only problem is, last I looked, I didn't feel like ticket sales were that great.
No, I don't think that there's been a lot of ticket sales on either side. I think there's a lot of seats still open. But
why is this
so bad?
Not being in that hostile environment is going to make a difference.
Why is this a game at America? What's so special about it that it's at American Airlines Arena?
I haven't seen arena. I want to play there. Who doesn't?
Okay. But
Calipari said, "Hold my beer. We're going to play there."
Well, okay. I mean, true. I just didn't know if there was any significance because it's like the SEC Big 12 Challenge or some kind of tournament or whatever.
No,
because you have all these tournaments going on early on in the season,
right? And it's, to my knowledge, it's not part of one of those. It's just I kind of think it's one of these deals of, Cal is known nationally as a recruiter. Why not go to the Dallas Metroplex, play a game where the Mavs play? Have a chance for, if there's, I don't know, I'm sure there's some recruit in that area that's a national big dog that we want to give him a prime opportunity to see play. And it's just a chance for these guys to play in an NBA arena.
I'm raising my hand. It's replacing our Tulsa game against OU, a neutral site game.
Right. That's right. So because now that's a conference game.
Go down. Yeah.
I thought. So last year was the last year at the Box Center.
Yes, I believe so. I believe that one moves on campus this year.
Yeah, I did not know that.
We needed a neutral site, and then
that makes sense.
Neither team wanted to commit to another year. I think they just wanted to commit for 1 year, so they made it a neutral site. Like they didn't want to do home and homes or whatever, so they just did a neutral site. From what I was
play it at Little Rock. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it would be cool to see an opponent of that caliber.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, nice try.
in the Little Rock game, but we got to get the lights working.
I said Little Rock can't even get the lights to work.
Hey, I told you that was my fault.
Yeah,
I am.
Zach was up there. He was up there to rafters and bumped the lights, and they didn't work for like 45 minutes after that. So
I do really wish I could go to that game, but
we'll do a watch party or something. Don't worry.
I'll be in the Virgin Islands,
we'll definitely figure something out.
You're not getting a hold of me.
Okay, well then, Rudy, two to you too then. Oh man! Final thoughts on the Hawg hoops for Saturday before we wrap this up and go on to Hawg Tuah. Sarah, do you want to stick around?
Sure.
Okay.
Awesome. Final thoughts on Baylor game. We're going to learn more about this team. I don't expect them to come out and shoot as poorly from 3-point range as they did last night. I'll go back to this Adu Thero. Thank you, Carolyn Williams, for correcting me on the pronunciation. Adu Thero is going to be the X factor. If he gets matched up with Norchad or Mir, I think that's the matchup of the night to watch. Robert Wright and Boogie is going to be a fun one as well, or Robert Wright and DeJuan Wagner. However they choose to match that up. If I'm Baylor, I'm coming out and I'm setting in a zone and making Arkansas prove that they can hit threes after the way they shot last night.
Sarah?
If you're a Hawg fan and you're panicking about the attendance, please go sit in the corner.
Wait. Don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my thunder. Because I have something to say about that on the other side of the break.
Well, I think it'll also be bad Saturday, but I think Saturday will be a great chance for us to see how some of these guys can play defense. I'm not worried about shooting. Shooting will be there. It comes later in the season.
Hey, Sarah, what's the old saying about defense? Defense travels.
Defense generates good offense.
Defense gets you playing time in my book. But
well, yeah.
And that's why Sarah never played. Next question.
Cal subscribes to that theory too, because he made a comment in the postgame last night of like, if you're not going to get after it on defense, you're not going to play for me. And I love that because I was a defense first guy. So the fact that they're playing as hard as they are on defense, I love to see it. It's kind of like rebounding. It is mainly effort over anything else.
Right. All right. That's going to do it for MC School of Hawg Hoops. On the other side of the break, it's time to Hawg Tuah, y'all. And a little bit of a roundtable discussion. I have some thoughts as an average basketball fan at the moment, not like these two super fans up here. I have thoughts and I have questions that I would love to hear y'all's take on. But you are listening to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Back in 60 seconds.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg fanatics. We at Inside the Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share that SeatGeek is a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Yeah!
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
You just got to spit on that thing. So
I know you did not just. Oh my God.
It's time to Hawg Tuah, y'all.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, and special guest sit-in Savage Sarah Vogel. Before we jump into these comments here, Jesse, I got a bone to pick with Razorback Nation for a second. I got a couple of them, but look, did they announce the official attendance for the game last night?
So
let's just start there first.
So this is me telling you information that I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell. So according to
how about you text it so we don't get in trouble?
Well, I don't care. I don't care.
Inside scoop here.
So this is from our like Trough leadership group. So it's like the student and leadership board I'm on. So
right.
According to them, student tickets were at $1,450, $800 less than last year's opener. Last year's opener was on a Tuesday though, not a Wednesday. But for the whole stadium, it was on par for last year's opener, minus the students.
Well, can we just be honest for a second here and say that 98% of Hog fans did not treat this like the season opener. The season opener for 98% of Hog fans was the Kansas game.
This was just another midweek non-conference game.
Okay, so I have a theory about why. I have two theories as to why attendance looks so bad and everybody's, losing their freaking minds. Overreacting about it. Theory number one. Quit selling your freaking tickets at $200 a freaking pop. It's that simple.
Theory number two, if Muss wouldn't have mentioned it in his press conference, it wouldn't have been mentioned at ours.
I mean, quit selling.
We didn't even talk about him taking a shot, but that might be a pod overtime discussion.
Oh, that's going to be an overtime. But to me, I mean, think about it, y'all. I get it for football. I get it for football when we're good. When we're good.
When's that been? The 60s?
2021. But I get it for certain basketball, like Duke last year. Duke, did y'all see the tickets for Duke last year? Yeah. I think we even mentioned it on Air MC. They were going for $1,200.
Yeah, they were higher than my mortgage.
This is something I talked about with somebody literally like an hour and a half ago. If someone would stop paying that price, everybody else wouldn't have to. I don't know who is paying $500 for an upper level of Bud Walton against Lipscomb. But they're scum.
You'd be surprised. The other theory that I have, though, and I'm going to say this, guys. Look, if you're trying to sell tickets, sell them at face value or bump a little bit off. I get it. Everybody wants to make money. I get it.
Face value plus a little more is fine. Even then, like for because I get they have their donation. They if you, I think so. From what I was told, face value is like $65. If you're asking $80, cool. But if it comes down and it's 2 hours before tip, drop it.
Yeah.
If it's 30 minutes before tip, start asking if people want them for free. Yeah. There's plenty of people in the NWA area. Instead of you not going because you couldn't get your $80, let a college kid who doesn't have an access pass get in. Somebody who might never go to a game again.
My other theory is this, and it may not hold as much water as the ticket thing. This is kind of where the round table comes into play. So let me hold on. I'm going to table that and kind of shift back to Hawg Tuah so we can get these comments out the way. Jesse, what do we got, man?
We've got royalty in the house, Miss Casey Sutton.
Hello,
Woo-hoo.
Casey.
We got the one and only Sam Jones with us this evening. MC, I counter your hottie toddy with who's that coming down the track? It's a mean machine in the red and black.
Go Hogs.
Y'all are crazy.
I said Hogs, not dogs.
Yeah, she did.
We have fun, Zach.
Because we're red and black.
Y'all have to admit you were impressed that I actually knew that.
Sarah didn't even see the jersey I'm wearing.
I saw the jersey and I heard you talking about it earlier. You ain't gotta brag. We know you're done with football just like the rest of us.
Want to know where I got it?
Not for me.
I got
No,
it.
they're not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor, so we're not
No
going to plug
plugs.
No plugs for them. No.
It's okay. The one behind MC is gonna have a twin behind it. It's gonna be number 10. And you're not.
I got a real one.
Oh,
I'd rather have MCs.
yeah. I have.
I hate you all
Sarah.
right now.
Like I'm gonna have to find some kind of sweet merch or some, something somewhere because I still owe her for getting me that jersey.
I hate you all right
I got
now.
a whole bunch of other stuff too. It just means you got to come to Fayetteville again to get it.
Well, there you go.
I hate you all right now. I'll be in. Hey, speaking of, I got a big another announcement I got to make towards the end of the show. It has to do with the Texas game.
Okay. Oh, Loki putting tire tracks on me here.
Oh no, he's putting tire tracks on Kentucky fans. The next 4 comments are shots fired back at Kentucky, which personally I'm kind of keeping my Kentucky trash talk to a minimum until February 1st.
I'm being very calculated with mine. Now, I will say
when we beat them February 1st.
Oh.
Why are we being calculated when it's a mid-major team? Why does it matter?
No. We're talking about, okay.
She got us there, MC.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got me. Yeah.
But Loki says, imagine a man retains his speech patterns and way of speaking instead of getting a whole new vocabulary when he switches schools. Scandal. Carolyn Williams comes in and says they are just sad haters.
Yeah. Let me tell you about Kentucky. What Kentucky is, and Sarah, don't take offense to this for the way I'm going to use this analogy. Kentucky is the hot girl that thinks she can do better, and she tells the dude to leave, and then when he leaves, she's like, "No, you're not supposed to leave me. I'm supposed to leave you."
That sounds about right.
That's what Kentucky is. And they're about as schizo as those chicks usually are too. So
to me, they're the girl who thought she was the bro, and so when the bros get a girlfriend, they get sad because they thought they were the only ones in their lives.
Yeah, D-Mad's got an excellent point here.
They wanted him to retire, not go to a sleeping giant.
Yep. Because the old heads at Kentucky, they remember when we came into the conference. And just kind of knocked them off their little throne that they had been sitting on since the days of Adolph Rupp.
Hey, that reminds me. Are you saying they're a rival?
In hoops, absolutely. 1,000,000%.
Guess what?
Guess what? Rivalry if we're gonna beat them.
Hold on. MC, that means we're going to be doing a podcast episode, just a podcast exclusive on Arkansas and Kentucky basketball, the rivalry.
Oh yeah.
If you're not following the podcast, you need to on all major podcast platforms.
Because a lot of people may not realize that this rivalry between Arkansas and Kentucky hoops goes way back before Arkansas was even thinking about joining the SEC. And a certain coach, God rest his soul, making a comment about he would crawl to Kentucky to take that job. That's where it began.
When you were talking about all the things Kentucky has, MC, Loki reminds you forgot their fried chicken.
Yeah, I did. The fried chicken and the bourbon are the two things that they're known for.
And bluegrass.
Kentucky
Carolyn Williams comes in. As to the team chemistry, did you know 4 or 5 of them had played together before Arkansas on the Team USA 18 and under team?
I had forgotten that until last night when they put the graphic up that showed that those guys playing together. I knew it at one time, but I had forgotten about it. So that was a nice catch.
Can I interject into that?
Absolutely.
You can't.
There's a difference between, hey, we were on this playing together, and there's a difference in playing together.
Yes.
That 18
Absolutely.
team got thrown together. They had a practice the night before, said, here's the guys, here you go. And it was me ball when they played. They weren't a team.
Very true. Very true.
Loki comes back in. The ghost of Savage is here to talk some haunted hoops. Apparently, she is a poltergeist made up of all of our tournament dreams from last season.
She's not talking about the women's team.
Oh, God. Don't get her going on that.
There was no dreams there.
Yeah.
Only nightmares.
Exactly.
Hey, here you go, Sarah. Dream on. To infinity and far beyond.
I know you did not. Oh my God. We have come completely off the rails.
MC, why?
We have come completely off the rails here.
I'm going to go by.
And then Sarah, Carolyn's got a suggestion for the shirt, and I think this would be pretty cool. It should say Boogie Wonderfland.
Yeah, the shirt's already printed. Sorry.
Well, lucky for you, we have Mix Design Company.
Yeah. There we
Then I
go.
got to pay for another one. I already paid for this one. Well, I made this one, so I've already done it, you know.
Brandon Laughlin is calling an 87-82 and shooting 43% from three win over Baylor.
I'll take it. Write it down.
As long as our number's bigger than their number, that's all I care about.
Yep.
I have us winning by, I think, 3 points is what I said.
I think it'll be a tight game. I really do.
And then to close out Hawg Tuah comment section, Mom and Pop Vogel in the house tonight.
Hey!
It's a good thing you're on good behavior tonight, Sarah.
It's my mom. It's not my dad. He doesn't get on Facebook.
So,
Hey, he was your cohort last night, though, at the game, though, right?
Yeah. And we got into the car and he was asking a lot of questions. And I was like, look, Dad, it's the first game. I had to tell him who everybody was. We're going down the roster. I kept calling Adu and Adu the same name because it's Adu Piero and Jonas Adu. Like, he was very confused. I felt kind of bad.
Hey, MC's phone's fixing to light up as the season goes on because I know I'm going to be asking 1,000 questions. MC, what's this mean? MC.
That's all right. That's all right, man.
All right, that's Hawg Tuah. I've got a couple of announcements. I'm going to table the question that I had because I'm going to get more information on it.
Okay.
And we may do a pod exclusive on that, MC.
All right.
For the Texas game, I am making my I know I'm going to catch hell for this. I'm making my very first trip of the season to Fayetteville next Saturday.
Bright and early
for the Texas game. Now, here's the thing. ITHP's official tailgate is going to be in Baum East parking lot. Majority, I hope, and I'm calling out certain people, I hope the majority of ITHP's staff will be on hand hanging out at the tailgate.
I'm working.
We'll discuss that later.
I have a JOB to do, so unless you
MC's the only one. MC's the only one with a pass because he lives so far away.
Yeah, I'm playing the 5-hour card, and I've already been to Fayetteville recently.
You pay $20 an hour.
Well, I wish. Exactly. Be looking for the ITHP banner. Yes, we have an official banner now. Thank you, Rock City Raps, for putting that together for us. And come say hi. Sponsored by Harris Made Chef Services. And we will be broadcasting live for the Harris Made Chef Services tailgate show and we're in Hawg Tuah still. So, and we'll be broadcasting live for the ass kicking we're going to receive by the University of Texas.
We're going to win.
The next one, Dave Ellswick Show, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Be listening. And yes, if you guys want to call in, I know a couple people hit me up and said they weren't taking calls last week. There was a little bit of confusion, but we are taking calls on air now. 501-823-0965. 501-823-0965 will get you on air tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. on the Dave Ellswick Show. 101.1 The Answer here in Central Arkansas, or go to our Facebook page and watch the live stream. Yeah, you can see my ugly mug on that radio station too. But I'll be there. Always a great time to be on Dave's show. Final thoughts before we get out of here, MC.
Man, I hate to say this, but I'm pretty much done with football now. Hoops has started. It's my favorite time of the year. don't read too much into this Baylor game either way this weekend. Cal has specifically set this non-conference schedule to be very tough for a reason, to have these guys ready for SEC play and to help them get ready for a postseason tournament run, because I think Cal, this big chip he's come in with that sits on his shoulder, is all about making a deep run in March. So if we get beat this weekend, everybody calm down. It'll be all right. This is basketball. You're going to lose some games.
So what you're saying is the season's not over?
No, season is definitely not over if we drop this Baylor game.
You hear that, Dylan? He lives 5 minutes from me. I'm going to be surprised if he's not banging on my door ready to kick my butt. But nah, he's a good dude. Sarah, final thoughts before we get out of here.
What's football? Anyway, with basketball, I would say that which soccer is still playing. So with basketball, though, if we lose a couple, we need to not panic. Yes. It's all right. It's okay.
Calipari even came out and said, look, we're going to lose some.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
It's okay. We can't. There's not a single undefeated team in the tournament every year.
No. Exactly.
Not a single one.
Would you rather lose in November and December or in March? I know when I'd rather lose.
We ain't losing in March.
No.
Oh, no. Hello. Well, that will do it for today's show. Sorry, wrong answer. Jesse, how about you, man? I'm going to go last.
I'm tired of football. Soccer, we're down to the final 7.5 minutes. We're still tied 1-1. Like MC said, it's hoop season.
Yeah, baby.
We got something to be excited about with hoops, and I can't wait to see how this season plays out. So that's about it for me. Arkansas is staying down on Texas end of the pitch, Zach.
The pitch.
Yes. I knew that.
So
what are you taking one last shot at me before we go tonight? What?
I need to figure out how to get Jesse up here for a game.
You mean down there? Because he's like 45 minutes.
Whatever.
Hey, there's a lot of construction on 49. It's a lot further than 45 minutes.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, all right. So,
Sarah, hush. I will mute you.
The election's over. Everybody breathe. Number one, everybody get along. All right. If everybody get along, period. Monday is Veterans Day, so I want to take a minute and shout out everybody that has got a family member or has served, like myself, in the military. Yes, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face. Yes, I earned the title of veteran. Yes, I have the title of veteran. But there are guys out there that have done much more than I did and will ever do that deserve it more than me. And they deserve that thank you more than me, because I will thank them myself. So make sure you guys, if you're hanging out, watching games this weekend or whatever you do, take a minute. If you know a veteran, call them up, tell them thank you, and show your appreciation for the guys that and the girls lay their life down on the line for us each and every day. Whew, everybody take a breath. All right. Football is over with. I know there's 3 games left, but still. That also brings me to another point in my last one of the night. With basketball season taking full effect, you will see probably a little bit less of me and more of MC. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just taking a few weeks away. Licking my wounds, because I'm also a Dallas Cowboy fan. So my season's going to be over pretty much anyway. But MC is going to be taking point. He has earned it. It is well deserved. And let's face it, he's a lot better at this than I am. I'm just riding his coattails.
Especially when it comes to him.
I will never argue that point.
That's the only piece of it that I will take credit for being better on, because you're a little more polished getting us into the show and out. I just want to get in here and talk hoops, man. I want to stay in my area, stay in my lane, so to speak, because I can talk hoops all night long.
Well, but don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be on Dave Ellswick's show, 9 a.m. Friday mornings. And there's going to be a big, and I'm going to do this, my best impression, huge. It's going to be a huge announcement. Yeah. Going to be a huge announcement on the horizon. So if you're not following ITHP, make sure you do that. Like, share, follow, subscribe everywhere on social media, and including our podcast channel, because you don't want to miss a second of what's going on out here, because you never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say. That's going to do it for us. Marcus MC Carlton, Savage Sarah Vogel, the Beard Jesse Thurman, running things behind the boards. I'm Razorback Zach. You've been listening to an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider, and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.